What's going on, gamblers, degens, and everybody else in between? This is the Gamblers Anonymous podcast, GAP, GAP for short, because we're closing the gap between you and the bookies. What's going on, everyone? How's your Saturday going? It's roughly 3:30 p.m. here in Winnipeg. We about to give you these locks, episode 78. I'm your host, JG, and let's get into the recap. Last week, I started off by giving you guys Bills -6 against the Miami Dolphins, and the Bills sold at the end of the game, up by 7. Dolphins tie, up by 7. Dolphins tie, up by 7. 2-minute drive for the Dolphins, and Bills defense can't hold. They give the ball back after scoring a touchdown. Josh Allen goes down the field, just goes for a field goal. Game over. Tua sells for you guys. All you guys who had his over in passing yards to A-Chain, laterals it to Waddle. Waddle waddles himself down all the way back 40 yards. That over doesn't hit because of it. I feel absolutely more terrible for you guys on that one than the one that lost I gave you guys, if that made any fucking sense of what just came out of my mouth. We lost that one. Second lock I gave you guys, Chargers, Browns. Chargers money line, -115. Come on, y'all. Easy money. I told you guys, that Chargers defense, no chance Jameis was going to outperform them. Number one defense, oh my God, I can't even get it out of my mouth. I'll try again. They give up the least amount of points each game, and it was evident there. What did the Browns score? 10 points? 14 maybe? The end of it, don't worry. Chargers came through. Lad McConkey, Justin Herbert. How do you do? That came in. Next one I gave you guys, I told you guys this was a lock. I didn't even want to talk about it last game because I fucking hate the Rams and I hate Cooper Kupp, but he's a great fucking player. And he had over 5.5 receptions at -150. He ended the game with 11. He had actually 6 by the end of the second quarter. So that was an easy guaranteed lock. And you know how I know that? Because when he comes to Seattle, he tears this team a new asshole. He goes off. He dismantles them. That's what the fuck he does. So we ended 2-1 last week on our locks. And unfortunately for To the Moon, it was to the garbage. Patriots money line, Giants money line, Colts money line, all ass. I can't be doing that anymore. I just got to try and find locks. Doesn't matter if it's player prop. I got to change the total, whatever. I'm going to find it for you guys. But let's get to this week's episode 78 locks. Lock number 1, San Francisco 49ers versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And we got the 49ers -6.5, -110. Lock that shit in. Now, I can honestly say from the bottom, the deep end of my heart, I hate the 49ers. And I hate that I have to give you guys this lock. But I do it for all you goddamn degenerates out there. That's why I'm giving you this 49er lock. Now, this lock comes solely on the fact that Christian McCaffrey is expected to make his season debut with this team. And I don't care how this team has looked prior to this point. When they have the White Panther in the lineup, this offense on the 49ers becomes lethal. Since trading for Christian McCaffrey in the middle of the 2022 season, the Niners have gone 22-4 in the regular season with him as the starting running back. In those 26 matches, the Niners would have covered the spread of 6.5 20 times and only not cover that in 6 of those matches. And an even better stat for y'all, in those 26 matches, 18 of them were against NFC competition. 17 of those of the 18 against NFC competition, San Francisco, with the White Panther as their starting running back, has covered the -6.5, 17 of 18 times against NFC competition. Two of those games were against Tampa Bay, but also both those were easy victories for the Niners, winning 35-7 and 27-14. And now let's look at the starting QB for the Bucs, Baker Mayfield. He has never beaten the Niners. He's never come close to holding a win against these guys. He's gone 0-3 with losing to them as the Browns starting QB 31-3, starting as the Panthers QB 37-15, And last year with the Bucks, 27-14, he's lost all those games against the 49ers. And if you weren't paying close enough attention to those scores, all those scores he lost by more than 6.5 points. So if C-Mac is starting this game for the Niners, minus 6.5 at minus 110, lock it in. Lock number 2. Oh, I'm getting fired up right now. Detroit Lions versus Houston Texans. Detroit Lions minus 3.5, minus 110. I got to be honest here. I'm not sure how the Lions are only minus 3.5 favorites here. Houston was dismantled last week by the Jets. The New York Jets dismantled them. What I thought was possibly going to be a trap game for the Lions into Green Bay. Well, nope. Detroit went and fucking dismantled the Packers. The Lions are legit Super Bowl contenders, and I think Houston, as good as they might think they are, they're just pretenders. They ain't ready for the fucking Super Bowl. Texans are going to be out with Will Anderson and possibly still Nico Collins, and now Tank Dell, who popped up late in the injury report this week. And you saw last week with the Jets, the receivers, after there's no Diggs, no Dell, and if no Collins, he's got no one. He's going to lean on Joe Mixon. He'll roll out and have no one to pass to, and he'll be wishing the books gave more than minus 3.5 to you guys. Now, Lions got the number 1 offense in the NFL. They average just over 32 points a game, and they allow 18.5 points on average. Yes, do the math. That's an 11.5 point difference, and we're getting minus 3.5 here. I cannot believe that. Texans have struggled to put up points compared to last year, and I'm thinking that's why the books still have them as high as they do. This year, they rank 17th in the league with 22.3 points on average, and they allow 22.2 points on average. So let's just say both sides of the ball, they'll score 22, and they'll let up at least 22 in the game. If you take the median of both offense and defense, Lions versus Texans, Texans versus Lions, the implied score will be 27-20 Lions. And what really this game comes down to is, can the Texans convert on third down? I'm saying right now the Texans won't be able to convert against the number 1 third down defense in the league in Detroit. And the Texans, without their wide receivers, are going to struggle. Especially, they're going to struggle because the Texans line is one of the worst for letting their QB get sacked. At almost 10% of the time, he's getting sacked. So if he drops back 10 times, one of those times he's going to get his ass sacked. Plus, Detroit is the number 1 team for creating turnovers and winning the turnover battle. So not a chance Texans come close to this plus 3.5. This is, I don't know how else I can say it. I'm pounding the fucking table right now. Detroit Lions minus 3.5, minus 110. Lock it in. And lock number 3, Denver Broncos versus Kansas City Chiefs. I got Patrick Mahomes over 31.5 passing attempts, minus 105. Now, as good as Denver's defense has been for what they are, they've been quite good this year. But I'm telling you, their last 6 of 7 games, QBs have thrown over 32 pass attempts a game. And the only time they didn't was against last game against Lamar Jackson, when he only threw the ball 19 times. Their season average is they let up 31.9 pass attempts a game. That's pretty much 32. If you take out the anomaly, the one that doesn't fit, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of it. It's the outlier. The outlier in Lamar Jackson. Well, then that 31.9 goes skyrocket up. And I'm going to tell you this stat right here to end it all. 12-1. Mahomes is 12-1 against the Broncos. He has made the Broncos his baby back bitch. And what does he like to do against his baby back bitch? He likes to throw the ball. His career average is 35 attempts a game against the Broncos. And in games where he's played 90% or more of the snaps, that number jumps up to a high number of 38 pass attempts per game. He's done this in 5 or 6 home games against them and 5 games straight against the Broncos. And on a season average, Kansas City has averaged 33.6 pass attempts a game, good for 11th best in the league. And I don't know how the Denver Broncos is just going to stop this. So give me Patrick Mahomes over 31.5 passing attempts minus 105. Lock it in. Now let's go to the moon. We got Travis Kelce, 75 or more receiving yards at plus 200. CeeDee Lamb, anytime touchdown, plus 150. And Miami versus Los Angeles Rams, over 55 points, plus 178. That's good for plus 1,985. Throw 25 on it. That gets you $521.25. Well, that's it for this episode. It's going to be on YouTube. Stay tuned. The video will be out for our next episode. Maybe a hockey one for Tuesday, so maybe it'll be out Monday. My software didn't work, so I'm going back to the old style. We're going to change it up, revolutionize it, change the formatting. Different dynamic, hopefully. Well, that's it for this episode. Good luck with all your bets. Gamble at your own risk. See you later. Peace.